Hello traders, Steve Gans here, and one of the questions that I get asked probably more than any other question is how can you use options as a hedge in a long-term buy and hold account? So I had an example that I opened up here in January that's played out very well, and I'm going to walk you through that entire hedge. Now I did this hedge in SPY as opposed to SPX or some other vehicle because I wanted a lot of increments in it. In other words, I wanted to have a lot of different options that I could phase out of when the market started to drop. If I went with SPX, I might have only 5, where with SPY, I did 50. And I'll get into all the nuts and bolts of that, and then I'll show you the breakdown as to how this trade exactly paid out. I'm going to go ahead and take myself off the screen here right now so that we got the full view of what's happening with the trade itself. So the first thing I want you to look at is the date I opened this. I opened this trade here on January 23rd, and I want you to look where our market was here on January 23rd. Our market was right here on January 23rd. Why was that where I chose to open up this hedge? It was because we were hitting previous highs. And I had already drawn a resistance line here that had been prior highs. I was expecting it to be the high again. As it turns out, it was. Now, so this is the trade that I opened on that day. Now, this trade consists of a short call spread. In fact, a lot of short call spreads, 50 short call spreads, 10 points wide. So that's pretty big amount of risk if the SPY were to rip up from there. So I need to have kind of a game plan or a strategy in mind that, if the market did in fact start ripping up and going through that 615 range, how was I going to deal with that? That's a whole different subject. Not going to get into that right now. But there's a number of different things I could do. Just simply close out the trade, maybe take a small loss on it. I could come in, maybe sell some put spreads on the other side and kind of balance it off a little bit into a condor. There's a number of different things I could have done. But again, that's not the purpose of this specific lesson. I took the money that I got from selling these call spreads and I went down and I bought 20 585 puts. So that's what gives us then this leg that goes up. So those puts will gain in value if the market sells off. So again, all of that I did here on the 23rd. Now, 3 days later, the market took a pretty big gap down here. Now that certainly worked in my favor. I wasn't necessarily expecting that. I was expecting some chop sideways or some sell-off. And I should also note, if the market just chopped sideways during the duration of this trade, I'd still end up with almost a $10,000 profit in this particular trade because the T0 line eventually is going to come up here and just mirror that green line, which is expiration. Now, I could, if I was willing to accept maybe a lesser profit if the market chopped sideways, I could have spent more money on puts. Rather than just buying 20 of them, maybe I could have bought 25 or 30 of them. Then my configuration would look more along these lines, okay? So I chose to go with 20 of them. I chose to give myself some nice buffer here, if you will. So if we do just chop sideways, I can still come out of this with some profitability. But what happened again a couple days later is I come in here and I look at my adjustments. So on January 27th, the market had taken this pretty big gap down over here. When it took that gap down, I took that opportunity to close out 25 of those 50 short call spreads. So I bought 25 of them back, which dramatically reduced now my upside risk. And I'm up already $12,000 in that hedge. So what did I do from there? I ended up that I really didn't do a whole lot as the market, chopped sideways here over the next few weeks. I didn't really do much of anything with that trade. In fact, I believe, that sat there for almost a month. Then on February 25th, as the market sold off, let's see here, February 25th would be right in here. So on February 25th, as the market sold off, I went and I sold 5 of those puts. So people were willing to pay a premium to get into those puts at that time because our market was starting to break down a little bit. Fear was starting to elevate. So those puts have more of a value at that particular point. So I went ahead, I sold 5 of those puts. Now let's see what happens after that. I go a little bit further here to the 28th. So on the 28th, I went and I had an order out there to sell another 5. Let's do this after, these are before the adjustment, after the adjustments. So all of these different trades, I sold another set of puts, and I also closed out those call spreads. You notice there's no more call spreads there at all. I closed all those call spreads out. What that did for me was that put me in a situation that no matter what, I was going to have profitability of about $7,500 in this trade. Even if the market ripped higher from here, I was still going to have that $7,500 locked in. Now, right at this time, this trade's up about $22,000. Now, keep in mind, while this trade is up, the rest of my long portfolio, the rest of my stocks, my Apple, my Amazon, my JP Morgan, they're all taking a hit, okay? While this is a profitable trade, all it was doing was help to offset some of the carnage that was happening elsewhere. I didn't want to sell out of those positions, many of them which I've held for 3, 4, 5, 6 years. I didn't want to sell them out, have to deal with capital gains, etc. So many times hedging can allow you to hang on to those positions, not have to go and sell them and deal with the tax ramifications of selling a position. So anyhow, at this point, I sold out of that call spread completely. I have no risk of loss in this trade whatsoever. I still have an order out there to sell 5 more of my puts. Now, I'd already dropped it from 20 to 15, so I'd already sold another 5 of those. So let's just take a look, see what happens from here. So I go out to March 4th. It looks like probably on March 4th, yeah, I got filled. I sold another 5 of them. Now I'm down to just 10 puts here. And this is as of March 4th. So let's just see where March 4th is over here. March 4th is right here. So again, we took a pretty big down move in the market that day. Fear was high, so when that fear is high, that's when I want to be selling into it. I bought those puts in advance when the market was at an all-time high and they were cheap to buy, and I financed them again by selling that call spread. Now let's march forward yet again and see what happens. So it looks like I get to March 10th, and I've thinned out another 5. So now I'm just down to 5 of these that I have once we get to March 10th. Take a look at the market over here. I think March 10th is right in here. I'm down to a total of 5 of them is all I have left, and I'm up $41,000. Again, I'm up in this trade, but my long-term buy and holds are taking the shorts here. I go ahead a little bit longer, and when we get down to, let's see, March 13th, I think I just sold off a couple more. I kept the trade alive. Yeah, I just sold off 2. So now I'm down to 3 of them. Now that was March 13th, which is right here. That is the low point of this particular move. Pretty good that I had this position totally thinned out by the time I got to that point. And then I think a couple days later, when we started to rally up into here, that's when I thought maybe the short-term selling is over and we might bounce a little higher. So that's when I went ahead and I just closed out this trade. So that's what this trade looked like as I loaded my order for the last 3. And then when that order filled, I ended up closing that out at this 43,527. That's the anatomy of this particular hedge. So the couple of key things to take away here is, first of all, I bought my puts when the market was at a high and volatility was low. That's when those puts are the cheapest to buy. Now, the other thing I did was I sold a call spread at that time that call spread would have been valued at a premium because the market was back to those all-time highs. People are getting greedy. They're starting to pay up for those calls. So that's when I went ahead and I sold just a slightly above the money call spread. When we were trading at about 605, 610, somewhere in that range, I sold the 615s. So I sold those at a little bit of a premium. I bought the puts at a little bit of a sale, if you will. And then as the market started to do its thing and sell off, that's when I was able to go ahead and capitalize and sell those insurance policies, sell that protection to people as the market was dropping and they were starting to panic a little bit. So at the end of the day, is my overall combined account down in this recent downdraft? Yes, it is. But it would have been down about what the market was down, about 10%, somewhere in that range. By having this hedge on, I was able to dramatically reduce the amount of dip my account took by having this hedge in place, being able to execute it and exit out pieces of those puts at opportune times. So this is one of the many ways that hedges can be done. I hope you find this useful. If you do, please subscribe, give me a thumbs up, give me any comments you might have. If you found this information useful, I'm going to ask you to click on the link below and sign up for my session that's about an hour long on all the potential uses for options in an investment account or for income purposes. It'll give you a walkthrough of all sorts of ideas like this. Be sure to check it out. Thank you so much, everyone. Take care.